Namaste and welcome to BNB class. On request of many students, we are trying to present this video that is very relevant or very important in this time. Yes, we are talking again about monetary policy 2079-80. The difference being we will be presenting the highlights of monetary policy in English as requested by many of our followers and subscribers. I hope you all like this video. So before we get started with the highlights, why this monetary policy 2079-80 is observed as really very important and crucial in these turbulent times where not just the Nepalese economy but whole world economy is suffering. I have also discussed these points while we presented monetary policy in Nepali version. So it's a quick, you can say, it's a quick revision. The first point being to revive economy post-COVID era and fight inflation during slower economical activity. Our country Nepal is facing an economical problems related to inflation, price rises, depleting foreign currency reserve, decreased you can say remittance inflow and many other things. And of course the COVID era was a major shock to our economy. So in order to revive the economy and fight different problems that are existing, this monetary policy is being observed as an important one. Another one, to keep wheels of economy running despite international issues like Russia-Ukraine war, fuel price rise, etc. Now, we all know there are several problems internationally. To name a few, I have listed here Russia-Ukraine war, fuel price, climate change issues, you can say, the different types of export and import banned by different countries. These are all adding to the woes of Nepalese economy. So we have to focus on keeping our economy running at a good pace. To keep economic growth rate at 8% envisioned by budget 2079-80, the federal budget presented at the federal parliament targeted to achieve an 8% growth rate in the current fiscal year 2079-80, and monetary policy has also envisioned that we will maintain the economy, the production, the money supply, the inflation, everything in control in order to achieve this growth rate. To manage depleting foreign currency reserve, rising BOP deficit, import substitution, etc. We know foreign currency reserves is around 6.5 months to cover the import of our country. That's really an alarming situation. Similarly, the BOP deficit, we know the imports are at another level and exports are just trying to increase. Import substitution, this is another agenda that has been taken by different governments in the past few years. So in order to maintain these kind of issues, also monetary policy can play an important role. That's why this monetary policy is considered as something to be looked upon. To uplift the business mood of business community, the production is totally based on the business houses, because until and unless the business grows, the business output grows, the GDP of the economy cannot improve. Hence, in order to cater to the needs of the business community, this monetary policy has taken care of different demands that was made or that was put forward by the business persons. So in these points we can see that monetary policy of this current year that was presented is really important. Now let's move forward quickly. Now we'll talk about the highlights. So let's get started. Monetary policy 2079-80. The monetary policy 2079-80 was unveiled at 4 p.m. of Shrawan 6, 2079, July 22, 2022. The monetary policy was publicly unveiled by Mr. Mahaprasad Adhikari, NRB Governor, as we all know. So let's get started with the major points. The first point, NRB reduced the expansion target of credit expansion target of 19% to 12.6%, especially in the private sector. Yes, credit expansion means the loan expansion, the amount of loan that will be provided by all the banks and financial institutions in Nepal to the business houses or business sector, you could say. CRR has been increased from present 3% to 4% to be implemented from the starting of Bhadra month of 2079. The CRR has been increased by 1%. The other point, by the end of POS 2079, commercial banks should increase the statutory liquidity ratio, you could say, to 12%, while development banks and finance companies should increase it to 10%. Initially, it was 10%, 8%, and 7%. So now it has to be increased. The SLR has also increased. The counter-cyclical buffer, which was suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will be implemented from Shrawan 2018. Now it has been reintroduced. Concessions and exemptions will be provided to BFIs only if they conduct integrated business post-merger or acquisition by the end of POS 2079. Whatever concession, whatever exemptions that were provided or that was said to be provided to BFIs as an encouragement to go for big mergers, that will be done only if the merger process completes by the end of POS this year. The risk weight asset for loan below 25 lakh or equal to 25 lakh is 100%, and for a share loan above 25 lakh is considered 150%. Now this will directly impact the capital fund calculation, because we know every asset has to be risk weighted, and accordingly the capital fund is calculated. So that will affect, because share loan above, loan against shares, if it crosses 25 lakh, the risk weight is 150%. Another one, the rates under the interest rate corridor system, IRC, have been increased by 1.5 percentage points, means 1.5%, you could say, and the bank rate has been maintained at 8.5%, the policy rate at 7%, and a deposit collection rate at 5.5%. All these rates have been you can say increased, upgraded by 1.5%. The interbank lending weighted average rate can be maximum within 2% range of the policy rate, which is 70%, means maximum within 2% range. The government has made several revisions to the limit of 412 previously fixed for share mortgage loans, and only rupees 20 crores have been fixed now. As mentioned earlier, the 412 means you can avail a loan up to 4 crores from one bank, and overall you can avail a share loan of 12 crores. Now the the limit has been removed, and only 12 crores, means either you take 12 crores share loan from a single bank or from multiple banks, but the upper limit has been fixed. Bonds and debentures issued by the BFIs up to the end of ASAR 2080 can be counted as sources of credit deposit ratio, means these bond debentures will also be counted as deposit for the calculation purpose of credit deposit CD ratio. According to the suggestion made by the budget, the inflation will be limited to 7%. Yes, that's again another target of budgetary system. The additional capital buffer ratio of 2% will be reimposed and to be implemented from the start of Shrawan 2080. The counter-cyclical buffer will limit banks' ability to lend loans. When the central bank offered a counter buffer discount in the past, banks were still maintaining a capital adequacy of 11%. If there is no discount on the counter buffer, this ratio must be maintained at 13%. As a result, it appears that banks with less capital have less power or less fund to make loans, to provide loans, to disburse loans. Means more amount of money or capital has to be maintained as a capital fund, which will reduce the capability or the amount of loanable funds. Okay, another, in the productive sector, 2% premium on the base rate and an additional 4% of base rate interest should be charged for loans such as shares, real estate, imports, etc. Means there is difference between productive and non-productive sector loans. Microfinance companies can issue debentures as the capital fund. Arrangement is such that the enterprise businesses that have availed a loan of up to 5 crore from banks and financial institutions will not be charged penal interest if they pay the loan principal and interest by the end of SOS 2079. Means a grace period has been provided. When disbursing loans to the private sector for the construction of information technology and industrial parks, an arrangement will be made to determine the interest rate by adding a maximum of 2 percentage points to the base rate. Means maximum 2% above the base rate will be applied for loan interest rate. BFIs have mortgaged houses, land for unopened purpose. Means undisclosed purpose for new loans, mortgage loans, property loans, and personal periodic loans, and the ratio between the fair market value (FMV) of the loan and the mortgage securities shall be 30% maximum within Kathmandu Valley and 40% maximum in other places in order to calculate the mortgage security ratios. That has been reduced. Loans to the productive sectors including agriculture, small enterprises, exports, and those affected by the COVID-19 epidemic will continue to be refinanced. The refinance facility will be gradually reduced and made available by the end of 2081 ASAD so that the balance of the related fund is equal. The refinancing facility that was being provided by NRB will be gradually reduced by the end of 2081. That will also cause a decrease in the loanable funds by the banks and financial institutions. I hope this video was useful to you, as it was the same thing but in English. So don't forget to like and share our video. Click on the logo to subscribe. Keep learning with BNB class. And thank you so much for being with us. If you have any doubt, anything, as such we should prepare certain video, please comment. We will be trying to meet your requests. Thank you so much.